All right, so let's talk about 3 pillars of player development that you can use for your program. These pillars are what I use in the Beyond the Field player development program, where I was able to create impact and success in the lives of athletes at the University of Houston, University of Kansas, and Baylor University for their football programs. And these 3 pillars are personal wellness, community impact, and career development. Now, these pillars came from my first time when I got the job, and Coach Tom Herman, who's the head coach at University of Houston, he set me down. He said, Ed, I want you to do 3 things in this role. I want you to take care of the athletes, I want you to get them in the community, and I want you to help them get summer jobs. So as I took player development more seriously, and I was like, you know what, this is the lane I want to go into. Because when I first started, I still wanted to coach. I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do so I can coach on the field. When I took it more seriously, I sat down and said, I want pillars, right? Now I understand the rule of 3 in communication. Things are, or the value communication, the communication value, that things are better in 3. So I was like, I want 3 pillars. I saw some programs had 7. I was doing some research, even some personal development aspects. And I was like, I just want 3. And so I just went back to what Coach Herman told me. Take care of the players, personal wellness, get them in the community impact. And if they need summer jobs, they're probably gonna need jobs when they're done, career development. So I took those aspects of what he told me and created the pillars for the Beyond the Field program, which for the last 10 years has created so much impact in the lives of others. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe, and let's get started. Now, you may have heard, okay, this personal wellness pillar, like tell me more about this personal wellness pillar. The personal wellness pillar is a pillar where we want to take care, as it says, the overall wellness of the person, okay? The overall wellness of the person. And so there are 5 areas of the personal wellness pillar. There's financial, there's mental, there's physical, there's spiritual, and there's social. I'll break each one down here real quick. Financial, we want to take care of their finances, right? I had a conversation with someone at the University of Kansas, Leticia Gradington. Shout out to her. She was handling all the finances for all the students, and I was showing her what we did in Beyond the Field, and she's like, Coach, where's finances and personal wellness? I was like, it's not there. She's like, let me ask you a question. If their finances aren't right, are their mental, physical, spiritual, and social off? I was like, yes. She's like, you need to add financial. So we added financial. And this is something that helps with the overall wellness of people. We know that when people have finances set and in order, it can help. We know when they're not set in order, it can hurt. So we put that under personal wellness. The next one is mental. There's been a lot of focus on mental health. I'm glad it's there, but also mental wellness, taking care of the entire mentality and all that's needed for the players. Once again, with financial, and a lot of these you'll hear me say, I am going to find providers that get that done. That is not my lane. I love helping. I love learning, but I want to find providers that can do that. Physical wellness. I spend a lot of time with our strength coach, our trainer, our dietitian. We were having conversations about the physical wellness of the players. Like, how are they doing? Are they in weight gain, weight loss? How are they doing overall, right? We spend a lot of time with those. I spend a lot of time, our department spend a lot of time with those individuals so that we can know the entire physical wellness of the player. Spiritual wellness. Now, this is one where you want to provide resources for the athletes in the different spirituality or religions that they practice or committed to, right? And I know for me, I'm a Christian, but even as a Christian, I wanted to make sure that in the role, I want to make sure I have the connections, once again, to the people who can help those. If I have a player, I've had a player who is, a player that's Muslim. I've had a player that's Buddhist, and we want to make sure we get them connected to those resources so they can continue to practice their faith. So there's spiritual there, but you also want to bring people in. There's people who can speak into people's lives, and so that's a great part of the personal wellness as well. And then finally, the social wellness, right? Them socially, we want to make sure that they're working on relationships, right? We want to communicate, how do you have healthy relationships? How do you communicate well, right? How do you go to this thing in class? How do you meet people? How do you network? So we want to talk about different social wellness pieces as well. Now, the next piece there is community impact. The community impact is one that a lot of players love, and we have 4 sections when I was in handling Beyond the Field. And Beyond the Field, you can get all those pillars here by purchasing the book, the Player Development Guide. This is our guide, Beyond the Field's Player Development Guide, which you can find on Amazon. And if you want it signed by me, you can click the link in the show notes. All that's detailed there. But it's what we use, community impact. The first pillar was children and education. Now, you can call it children or you can call it education, but basically we wanted to be in the community for the next generation. We wanted to be there for them. We wanted to make sure that we were making an impact. Oh, let me list out the rest and then come back. So it's children and education, it's environment, it's health, and it's hunger. So going back to children and education, so we wanted to make sure that we were there for them. It could be local schools, local clubs, boys and girls clubs, local youth organizations. We wanted to ensure that we were making an impact there. The next one is environment, right? You have a great opportunity to take care of this beautiful world that God has blessed us to be on. So you can go there, you can find different partners. Once again, find people doing the work. In all of these phases you hear me saying, you're gonna hear me say today, there are people already doing the work. So you need to find those people that are doing the work. So we found people that are doing stuff in the environment. Is it a cleanup? Is it this? Is it recycling? Whatever it may be. Health is one where we're helping with the health of the community. One of the programs we did at the University of Houston that was so incredible was we did an obesity, program with childhood obesity. And so we were helping young men specifically understand that stretching is good, yoga is fine, running and different things like that. So we're able to help with the health. And then hunger, there's food pantries, there's different organizations that are feeding the people of the community, the county, whatever it may be. Join alongside them. They need your help. They sometimes, I know during Thanksgiving, they have a lot of stock that comes in, so they need help stocking, right? It's nothing like having some big football players come and help with that, or any athletes, right? So you can help there, all right? So the community impact is a good piece, and this is something I learned when I was at the University of Houston from Joe Thompson. Shout out to Joe Thompson, who was the MC at our Player Development Summit. Joe was like, hey man, like he saw what we were doing, and he was like, I love this. And he was like, hey man, let's try and make impact where we're not just showing up one time at a place, but there's impactful relationships and impactful action being made. So that is the community impact pillar. Now, before I go to the career development pillar, this is a great space for any sponsor to be. You can be a sponsor. You can get your spill right here to our community. We're close to 1,000 subscribers. This community is close. This community is strong, and this community takes action. So this is a space for a sponsor. You heard it. All right. The next phase. Oh, if you want to sponsor, email me. It's in the show notes, but email me at edward@btfprogram.com. The next pillar is career development. Now, career development, some of y'all heard me talk about it in this episode here when I talk about what is player development. I spent time there, but career development is huge when we talk about athlete development, because you have a lot of athletes that have all these transferable skills. They have all these transferable skills, and you need to prepare them for careers. But how do you do that, right? Of course, there's the resumes. Of course, there's the career fairs. But there's some intentionality you can have in your pillars. So for us, we had 3 pillars. Number 1 was externships, right? This is job shadowing, but externship sounds a lot better on sheets of paper, right? So we wanted to find out. I would go to students and I wouldn't ask them what they're studying. I said, what are you interested in? Is there a career if you could follow for a day, a week, 24 hours? What would it be? And they would say it, so then we would find these people, right? There's externships, then there's internships. After we do the job shadowing, we're trying to figure out, according to the athlete schedules, because the athlete schedules are crazy, can we get a internship, right? One thing I love that Paul Journey did at Clemson, shout out to everybody who worked there, is they do micro internships, right? Well, can we come for a week and get the value of an internship? And then the last pillar is career placement. How can we place these players in jobs, these athletes in jobs, right? And so you want to have that. Maybe you have a connection with a company and they are looking for athletes. So under the career development pillar, there's externships, internships, and career placement. So those are the 3 I used in the Beyond the Field program. But before we end, I want to make sure that you understand to pick what's best for you. You need to pick what's best for you. And I talk about that in this book, because the biggest thing is you need to make, those are 3 that work for me. There's people that do leadership development. There's people that do relationship development. That's fine. I love it. But in the book here, okay, in the book on page 49 of the book, all right, I talk about the 10 areas of player development. This is where you can find your pillars, right? The 10 areas of player development, all right? There's personal development, there's community development, there's career development, skill learning development, leadership development, relationship development, financial development, transitional development, mental development, and spiritual development. So whatever you want to put those pillars in, they are right there in page 49. It is detailed here in this book. This book will help you if you're starting a player development program to get what you need to have that foundation. That foundation is clear. I suggest you do 3 pillars because it's easier to communicate that, but everything you need is there. I wanted to share the 3 pillars I use in Beyond the Field. I don't know if I've ever done, I've done so many podcast episodes. It's more than 72 hours of content on this page. I couldn't remember if I did it, but wanted to take time to do that for you. Now, You heard me talk about it. You heard me talk about a plan. You heard me talk about the book. You're ordering the book. You're thinking, what can I do in between? Well, what you can do while you're getting ready for your book to come is you can plan out a player development plan, right? You can create one. And so you can create one right here with this video right here. As I always say, go out and create generational impact. Don't wait, create a win. Oh, create it today. Have a good one.